The People's Democratic Party, the PDP, and its presidential candidate Alhaji Atiku Abubakar have filed an application asking Justice Zainab Bulkuchua to recuse herself from hearing their petition against the election of President Muhammadu Buhari. In a motion filed by a lawyer, Emmanuel Abu, Alhaji Abubakar and the PDP are asking for an order that Justice Bulkuchua be recused from further sitting on the tribunal or participating in the proceedings. The grounds for the appeal include that Justice Bulkuchua is the wife of Mr. Adamu Bulkuchua, a senator-elect of Bauchi's North Senatorial District under the All Progressives Congress, which is a political party involved in the suit. They also averred that the judge is the biological mother of Aliu Haidar Abubakar, a prominent card-carrying member of the All Progressives Congress. The PDP and Abubakar insist that, considering the relationship between the judge and the two politicians, there is every likelihood of bias if she remains as a member of the panel. The PDP says that justice must not only be seen to be done, but must be manifestly said to have been done. The motion was filed on May the 16th, as promised by lead counsel to Abubakar, and will be heard on the 22nd of May 2019. He might not be in court yet, but former President of Nigeria, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, has denied allegations of the withdrawal of billions of naira from the nation's treasury while he was in office. The former president, who was speaking at a meeting organized by the Anglican Communion in Abuja, described the allegations as false and misleading. Dr. Jonathan also bared his mind on the spate of insecurity in the country, asking government to do all it can to address it.
As a nation, we've been passing through a lot of challenges. The issues of kidnapping, the issues of armed robbery, and even to travel to very near cities like Kaduna is becoming a nightmare to Nigerians. But I believe with your constant prayers and asking God to take the lead, the country will get through all these challenges. But I remember a particular incident, I didn't mention names, but the Prime Minister will remember, where somebody was talking about billions that were removed from the CBN, and asked them how many trucks were used to carry all these billions. Because Nigeria, we get carried away by figures, and it's sad that we go too low to tell lies against people.
Former President Goodluck Jonathan, and back in the courts now. The Supreme Court has struck out an application by the Cross River State government challenging the suspension of Justice Walter Onoyan as the Chief Justice of Nigeria. Justice Onoyan was suspended in January by an order of the Code of Conduct Tribunal over false assets declaration. But the Cross River State government has approached the Supreme Court asking it to invoke Section 232, subsection 1 of the Constitution to assume original jurisdiction on the matter, citing violations of the constitutional provisions in the suspension. In its lead judgment, the Supreme Court agreed with the submissions of the federal government that it lacked jurisdiction to entertain the suit.
We are very happy because essentially that is our argument initial stage when the Attorney General of Cross River State instituted this action invoking the original jurisdiction of the court, and we filed a preliminary objection based on two issues: that the proper party is not before the court, and also they don't have the local standard to institute the court, because there's no dispute between the federal government and Cross River State that whatever they dispute, the legal right upon which the matter came from does not fall within the ambit of the Supreme Court, and we're happy that the Supreme Court has agreed with us, and this case is struck out.
Meanwhile, the suit seeking the removal of the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, and 53 other lawmakers from office because of their defection from their elective political parties, has been dismissed. Justice Okon Abang of the Federal High Court, Abuja, struck out the suit for being incompetent and lacking in merit on the grounds that the Legal Defense and Assistance Project, LEADAP, had no legal rights to institute it. Our correspondent, Amaka Okafo, reports.
On the 14th of May 2019, Justice Okon Abang of the Federal High Court ruled that, subject to judicial time, he will deliver judgment in a suit challenging the defection of the Senate President and 53 other lawmakers. Apparently, the judge had judicial time as he delivered the judgment. Delivering judgment in the suit filed by the Legal Defense and Assistance Project, Justice Abang held that although the plaintiff had a very good case against the lawmakers, its lack of legal right to file the suit has robbed the court of the necessary jurisdiction to entertain the suit and give a decision. The court agreed with the counsel to Senator Bukola Saraki and other lawmakers, Mr. Mahmoud Magaji, that LIDAP is not competent by law to file the suit. The court held that LIDAP lacked the right to institute the suit because it is not INEC that monitors and regulates political parties, neither is it a member of the constituents of the defectors, nor a registered political party. Earlier, while reviewing the submission of lawyers in the matter, Justice Abang agreed with the plaintiff's lawyer that the defectors violated the spirit of Section 68, subsection 1G, and ought to have vacated their seats, since there was no division of a kind that can warrant their defection.
It has sent a message to the political class now that their activities can be monitored, and that at any point in time, even after their election, they should not think that it's only during election that they are answerable to the people, that even after being elected, their political behavior is subject to the laws of the land.
Meanwhile, in the case of Senator Godswill Akpabio, who is the third defendant in the suit, the court struck out the suit of LIDAP for lacking in merit. It agreed with Senator Akpabio that he moved to another political party and not defection as alleged by the plaintiff. Justice Abang relied on the evidence of his suspension and subsequent expulsion from the People's Democratic Party as a right for him to exercise his freedom to association by joining the APC.
For me, I'm happy that, yes, indeed, my case, which had always been different, was well articulated by the court today. That mine cannot be described as a defection, that indeed it was a movement, and that movement was not only justified, but now has been judicially stamped.
It is not clear whether LIDAP will appeal the judgment. Amaka Okafo, Channels Television News.
Elsewhere, the legal saga involving the All Progressives Congress leadership in Delta State has taken yet another twist. This is because the judgment of the Federal High Court in Asaba, which sacked the Jones-Irue executive of the Delta APC, has been struck out by the Court of Appeal sitting in Benin City, the Edo State capital. Delivering the lead judgment of the three-man panel, Justice Mohammed Shoaibu also agreed with the APC national chairman and the APC Delta State chairman, Jones-Irue, that the suit filed by the Cyril Ogodo faction of the party came later than 14 days as required by the law. The appeal court also awarded the sum of 100,000 naira's cost against the defendants in the matter.
The court agreed with the argument of the appellants that one, the suit at the trial court was not justiciable. Secondly, the suit commenced outside the 14 days being a pre-election matter. Then number three, that the writ of summons was not fully endorsed as is required by law. So in the summary, that all what the trial court did that time has been set aside and become null and void.
The Court of Appeal Benin has just delivered judgments in 2 appeals concerning our clients, and we are waiting to. They said we should wait to collect copies. So we want to get the copies. Once we get the copies, we'll look at them and we'll do the needful. We'll challenge the judgments.
And away from the courts now, governors of the 19 states of the north have agreed to set up a joint financial institution to revive the region's economy. This formed part of the resolutions reached by the governors at their meeting in Kaduna today under the aegis of the Northern Governors Forum. As part of measures to address the numerous security challenges, the governors also plan to meet with the president over the killings and banditry ravaging the region.
The forum, in a bid to attain some degree of financial independence, resolved to create a joint financial institution, which I'm sure will be a vehicle for the region's economic recovery and overall sectoral development. In pursuance of this objective, each state to contribute 50 million naira monthly for a period of 6 months. So far, we have 600 150 million naira out of the expected 5.7 billion naira.
Well, talking about security, the House of Representatives Committee on Army says that the Nigerian Army falls short of the United Nations recommended ratio of personnel in the armed forces. This is part of the findings of the committee, which rounded up its two-day oversight functions in the theatre of operation around Maiduguri, the Borno state capital. The 10-member committee has been interacting with the theatre commander, the state governor and other personnel of the armed forces there.
Members of the House of Representatives Committee on Army paying their respects and laying wreath in honor of gallant Nigerian soldiers who lost their lives in the line of duty. The lawmakers who are writing a final report before the expiration of the 8th Assembly are in Borno State on oversight function to military formations in the northeast on Operation Lafia Dole to combat terrorist activities in the region. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tuka Buratai, was on hand to receive the committee. He told them the Boko Haram insurgents is real but not insurmountable.
Right now, as we all know, the Boko Haram terrorists are on the run, but because of the resilient nature of terrorism, they will always like to once in a while attempt to score points to show that they are still very much potent.
The lawmakers commend the army but raise concerns about the shortfalls in terms of personnel and equipment.
I think all of us, as we have recommended in the 8th Assembly that is winding up in the next 2-3 weeks, we are recommending that we all take the security of the country much more seriously than we have. We need to increase men, we need to increase resources, and I think for me, most importantly, we need to make sure that government at the local government level, at the state levels are functional.
The Army says it is resolute in its commitment to sustain operational tempo, regardless of any inadequacies, until they are addressed.
Of course, our desire to quickly conclude this crisis is one thing that anybody that comes in, every person that comes in to appreciate what we are doing, to see what we are doing, is a great encouragement to us.
The military operations in northeast Nigeria has gained trans-border collaboration with soldiers of Chad, Cameroon and Niger Republic participating in the multinational joint task force to end insurgent activities in the sub-region.